All right, let's take a look here at some more stuff on construction. So what makes a poem? Most of all, it's language and how it's used. At the beginning of all this, I said the poetry was like molasses or ketchup. This would be an example of figurative language. Picking the right words can convey certain meanings. So we have to think about diction, word choice. For example, I just said, so people think it's slow, I'm going to take molasses and put that in there, or ketchup, you know. The American ketchup bottle, you go into a restaurant, you're banging the back of it, it comes out very slowly. Maybe in other cultures they have the spray bottles and it comes out quickly, so they wouldn't understand that connotation. But for us, you know, if you have that experience, you'd understand that. So syntax is also important. You know, you're not restricted by, if you're writing an open form poem, you're not restricted by, you know, rhyme and meter, and you can create some really interesting combinations with syntax. So I'm going to show you a poem by Ruben Dario, which is called To Roosevelt. And this poem is, you won't be able to probably read it, but I just want to show you its physical form here because it's very interesting because it comes down like this in a funnel. You see this? It works its way down into a funnel. This last stanza here says, you think that life is fire, that progress is eruption, that wherever you shoot, you hit the future. And then down here he goes, no. So that syntax, you can see how the syntax is broken down. That's no, that's a stanza. It stands apart. And then the rest of the poem, you know, there's a lot more to it after that. But you could see how he works down in the poem like this, and then he goes, no. And then he comes back with another idea after that. That's an example of how you can manipulate syntax. Getting back to talking about rhymes, these are two words you should learn, assonance and consonance. So assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds, so there's internal rhyming in verses. Here's an example by E. E. Cummings. On a proud round cloud in white high night. So you could see here, proud round cloud, white high night. And those repetition of the vowel sounds in those examples there. In consonants, we have a repetition of consonants. This is a counterpart of assonance. So here's an example from William Blake's The Chimney Sweeper. At the very end, the last line here says, so your chimneys I sweep, in soot I sleep. So the repetition of the S's here would be an example of consonants. You know, this is, a lot of tongue twisters are made up this way too, right? She sells seashells by the seashore, or rubber baby buggy bumpers, or Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. These are all examples of consonants.